The story begins in the vast open grasslands of the savannah, where animals live peacefully, enjoying their lives under the endless sky. A mother cheetah gently cares for her 3 cubs. Everything seems calm, until suddenly birds scatter into the air. Danger is near. The king of the jungle, a lion, is out hunting with his pride. Sensing the threat, the mother cheetah quickly understands what's coming. To protect her cubs, she distracts the lions and runs in the opposite direction. But she's surrounded, and this time, she doesn't make it. Hidden in the tall grass, the cubs remain unnoticed, and the lions eventually leave. Now, the 3 little cubs are completely alone. Lost in the endless plains, they soon get separated from each other, each one left to survive on its own. One of the cubs keeps wandering, until it unknowingly reaches a highway. A car suddenly approaches, and for a moment, it feels like the cub's life is about to end. But at the last second, the car stops. A boy named Zan steps out with his father. The moment Zan sees the tiny cheetah cub, he instantly falls in love with it. He wants to take the cub home. At first, his father refuses, because keeping a wild animal is never a good idea. But when Zan insists, his father finally agrees, because deep down, he knows one thing. If they leave this cub alone on the highway, it won't survive. Back at home, when Zan brings the cub in, his mother is overjoyed. The family makes a decision. Until the cub grows strong enough, it will stay with them. Zan's father still isn't fully comfortable with the idea. After all, a cheetah is still a wild predator. And just like that, the cub becomes part of their family. Zan names him Duma. Now, Duma isn't just a wild animal anymore. He's family. He spends all his time with Zan and his dad, growing up, playing, and forming an unbreakable bond. One day, Zan is riding his bike with his father, and he challenges Duma to run alongside them. At first, Duma doesn't take it seriously. He casually runs behind the bike, but then something changes. In a split second, Duma unleashes his true speed and sprints ahead of the bike with incredible power. Zan and his father are amazed, seeing just how fast he has become. The next day, as they sit together, Zan's father has something important to say. He explains that the time has come. They must take Duma back to where he truly belongs, back to the wild. Zan doesn't want to hear it. He asks, "Can't we just keep him forever?" He argues that cheetahs are rare now, and Duma doesn't even want to be wild. But his father doesn't change his decision. He shows Zan a spot on the map, the exact place where they found Duma, and he explains Duma belongs there. That place is full of cheetahs, a paradise for him, a place where he can truly be free. Hearing this, Zan finally understands, and with a heavy heart, he agrees. But before they can take Duma back, something unexpected happens. Zan's father suddenly falls ill, and within just a few days, he passes away. Zan is completely broken, because he didn't just lose his father, he lost his best friend, and now he's truly alone. After the death of Zan's father, things start falling apart. Soon, even Zan's mother begins facing serious financial problems, because his father was the one holding everything together. One day, she sits Zan down and explains they have no choice. They must rent out their home and land and move to the city to live with his aunt, so she can find a job and rebuild their life. Hearing this, Zan asks the one question that truly matters to him. What about Duma? His mother hesitates, and then tells him Duma will have to go to a new home. The next morning, they pack everything into the car and leave for the city. After arriving at his aunt's house, Zan gets enrolled in a new school, and his mother finally finds a job. Duma is left at home alone with Zan's aunt, and she's terrified of him. Because no matter how gentle Duma is, to her, he's still a wild cheetah that could attack at any moment. One day, as Zan leaves for school with his mom, the house door is accidentally left open, and Duma quietly follows them. Step by step, he tracks Zan all the way to his school. During class, Zan suddenly notices something outside the window. It's Duma, and instantly panic sets in. Zan asks his teacher for permission to leave the class, but the teacher refuses, and in the next moment, chaos breaks out. Students start screaming and running in fear, because they've never seen a cheetah this close before. Zan rushes through the school, trying to find Duma. Eventually, he enters the restroom, where a group of kids start bullying him. But before things get worse, Duma appears. He growls at them, and the bullies immediately run away in fear. In the process, they drop their money, which Zan quietly picks up. After that, Zan escapes the school with Duma. Outside, his mother spots him, but Zan manages to avoid her and runs away with Duma, because deep down, he's afraid that his mom might send Duma to a zoo. Once they're out of the city, Zan makes a decision. He's going to take Duma back to where he truly belongs, to the place his father once showed him, a place where Duma can live freely. Zan returns to his old home, takes his father's bike and the map. Before leaving, he writes a letter to his mom. "Mom, don't worry about me. I'm taking Duma back home. I'll be back soon." And just like that, the journey begins. We now see Zan traveling endlessly with Duma, moving forward step by step. After some distance, he checks the map, confirming the direction, and continues the journey once again. After a long and exhausting ride, Zan reaches a massive desert, but suddenly, his bike stops. When he checks it, he realizes the worst. He's out of gas, Now he's stranded, in the middle of nowhere, far from the city, with no one around to help. With no other option, Zan starts pushing the bike forward. After some time, he spots a crashed airplane nearby. He and Duma take shelter under its shade, completely exhausted. They have no food, no water, and slowly, Zan falls asleep. As evening sets in, a man named Rip passes by. He notices the bike and tries to steal it, but before he can start it, Zan wakes up and confronts him. "Hey, what are you doing?" Rip casually replies he's heading south toward his village. Zan tells him they're going west. Hearing this, Rip looks confused. "You're alone?" But in the next moment, Duma steps forward. Seeing the cheetah, Rip freezes in fear, but Zan quickly reassures him there's nothing to be afraid of. Zan then asks Rip for some water and offers him a ride in return. Rip agrees and gives him water, but when he tries to start the bike, it doesn't work. Confused, he asks Zan what's wrong, and finally, Zan tells him the truth. He's out of gas. That night, they light a fire and rest beside the crashed plane, and by morning, Rip comes up with an idea. He pulls out a parachute from the wreckage and attaches it to Zan's bike. As the wind catches it, the bike starts moving forward on its own. And just like that, Zan, Rip, and Duma are back on their journey. Meanwhile, back in the city, Zan's mother is heartbroken. She puts up missing posters all over the city, desperately trying to find him. Out in the wild, Zan continues moving forward with Rip and Duma, but after some distance, they're forced to leave the bike behind. A rocky hill blocks their path. Under the blazing sun, Zan and Duma rest in the shade, while Rip starts digging the ground, because they're extremely thirsty. After some effort, Rip manages to find water underground. His experience from village life finally pays off. Zan is relieved. He drinks the water, and the hunger is getting worse. Suddenly, Zan spots an ostrich nearby. He tells Duma to hunt it, but Duma has never hunted before, so he fails. However, using his sharp instincts, he manages to locate ostrich eggs instead. And for now, that's enough to keep them going. After a while, Rip asks Zan, "Where exactly are you going?" Zan shows him the map and explains about the place he's heading to, a land where many cheetahs live, a place meant for Duma. Hearing this, Rip gets serious. He tells Zan that the place is very far, and reaching there won't be easy. It's dangerous. But Zan doesn't hesitate. "I'm not afraid of anything." Rip laughs and says, "Feels like you're going to get both of us killed." After thinking for a moment, Rip finally agrees to go with him, but with one condition: he'll only travel halfway. After that, Zan will have to continue alone. Zan happily agrees, and after spending the night there, they set off again the next morning. As they move forward, Zan checks his compass and suddenly realizes something. Rip is leading him in the wrong direction, but Zan doesn't say anything. He quietly continues with him. On the way, they come across an abandoned diamond mine, but just then, a helicopter appears in the sky. It starts moving toward them. Inside the helicopter is Zan's mother, still searching for her son. The moment Zan sees it, he understands. His mom is looking for him, so he quickly hides with Rip inside some ruins, making sure she doesn't see him. And just like that, the helicopter flies away. Once it's gone, they continue their journey. But Rip gets distracted after seeing the diamond mine. He enters it, hoping to find diamonds. But suddenly, the ground starts collapsing. Hearing his screams, Zan rushes in with Duma. He sees Rip buried under the dirt. Quickly, Zan clears the soil and pulls him out. Then he confronts him. "Why were you taking me north?" Rip explains. He wasn't misleading him. He was taking a mountain route to help him reach faster. But Zan doesn't believe him. He thinks Rip is lying. And without another word, he leaves Rip behind. Now alone again, Zan continues forward with Duma. Soon they reach a river. With no other option, Zan builds a small raft using dry wood, and the two of them set off across the water. But after some distance, Zan notices something terrifying. The river is leading straight toward a waterfall. Panic hits instantly. The raft loses control and flips. Both Zan and Duma fall into the water, and below them, deadly crocodiles are waiting. Somehow, through pure struggle and luck, they manage to escape, barely alive. But the journey is far from over. Now deep inside the jungle, Zan sees wild animals around him and decides to hunt for food. But he fails, because the animals sense his presence, and suddenly chaos breaks out. In the confusion, Zan and Duma get separated. Now alone again, Zan desperately searches for Duma in the jungle. But no matter where he looks, Duma is nowhere to be found, because unknown to Zan, Duma has been caught in a hunter's trap. As night falls, Zan is still searching, but suddenly, a wild boar starts chasing him. Zan runs for his life, but trips over a rock and hits the ground, losing consciousness. When Zan wakes up, he sees something unbelievable. Duma is back, and Rip is there too. It turns out, Rip rescued Duma from the trap, and also saved Zan's life. The next morning, Zan thanks Rip and apologizes for leaving him behind at the mine. Hearing this, Rip opens up about his past. He explains how he once left his village to earn money in the city, but there, he fell into the wrong crowd. He made bad choices and even ended up in jail multiple times, but now he wants to change. He wants to become a better person and return to his village to start over. A little later, they spot a deer. Zan sends Duma to hunt it, but once again, Duma fails. He still doesn't know how to hunt. Just then, they notice a group of tourists camping across the river, and Zan comes up with a plan. He hides a snake inside his shirt and approaches them, pretending to be injured. As the tourists rush to help him, Zan suddenly releases the snake. Panic erupts. Everyone runs for their lives, and in that moment, Zan and Rip steal their food and escape using a boat. As they continue their journey, Zan offers Rip the money he picked up from the bullies at school. At first, Rip refuses, but after Zan insists, he accepts it. And in return, Rip gives Zan a small diamond he found in the mine. He tells him, "Never lose this. It'll remind you of me." After crossing the river, they move through the mountains until Rip takes them into a cave. He explains, this place is close to his village, and he knows it well. Inside the cave, Rip shares a memory. When he was a child, he used to come here with his grandfather and have fun, but after his grandfather passed away, he felt completely alone, and he never came back here again. Hearing this, Zan is reminded of his own father, and once again, he feels that deep emptiness inside. That night, Rip tells Zan something important. Tomorrow, after you return Duma to the wild, go back to your mom, because you're all she has left. And me, I'll go back to my family. The next morning, they continue their journey, but as they pass through tall grass, a swarm of poisonous flies attacks them. Rip quickly covers Zan with a cloth, protecting him, but in doing so, he gets bitten badly. As night falls, rain starts pouring. The cold becomes unbearable. Their situation gets worse. Desperate, Zan burns the money Rip gave him to light a fire, giving them some warmth, but Rip's condition keeps getting worse. With no other option, Zan decides to go to Rip's village to get help. He leaves Duma behind to stay with Rip. Zan reaches the village and brings people back for help, but when they see Rip, they don't recognize him. His face is completely swollen. The village healer applies herbal medicine, and slowly the swelling goes down. Finally, they recognize him. Rip's family rushes to him, overjoyed to see him alive, and they thank Zan for saving his life. The next morning, Zan steps outside, searching for Duma, but he's nowhere to be found. Worried, Zan begins looking for him, and then he sees something. In the distance, Duma is playing with another cheetah. At that moment, Zan realizes the truth. Duma has found his kind, his partner, his real home. Not only that, Duma has even learned to hunt. Together, they've taken down a deer. Seeing this, Zan smiles because now he knows Duma will be okay. With a heavy heart, Zan turns around and starts walking back. But just then, Duma runs toward him one last time and hugs him tightly. No words are needed because both of them understand this is goodbye. After that, Zan leaves Duma behind, where he truly belongs, and begins his journey back. Later, after meeting Rip one last time, Zan finally returns home. In the next scene, we see his mother working in the fields, driving a tractor. As Zan approaches from a distance, he waves at her. At first, she doesn't recognize him, but as he gets closer, she realizes it's Zan. Overwhelmed with emotion, she runs toward him and hugs him tightly, because after so many days, her son is finally back. Zan smiles, holding on to the only family he has left, and together, they walk back home. And just like that, this journey comes to an end. If this story touched your heart, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because here, we don't just tell stories, we make you feel them.